Ed, Sveno Mick here. His wifey's Isuzu D-Max. She's just got new wheels on, some ROH Australian wheels. It's a nice machine, that. She's had it for about 4 months now. I really like it. It's actually, I like more car style vehicles, but to me that's I think it's 3.5, no, 4 years old. You've got to pay big money for vehicles here in Australia. That vehicle there was $44,000 second hand with about 70,000 kilometres on it. Well, you divide that, 1 kilometre is 1.6 miles is, sorry, 1.6 kilometres is 1 mile. So there's how you work that out. It's a bit over half, so 100 kilometres an hour is about 61 miles an hour, I think. But anyhow, just really quickly, I'm not going to waffle on here too much today. Just done another video before, but it's too long. So air filter maintenance on my Rover, and I'll show you also the air filter maintenance on the, actually I won't show, it's no different on the Greenfield. It's got a foam ring. Rightio, so what they have here is an air filter and a foam ring around it. So that air filter, you would be surprised how much that foam ring with motorcycle oil, or you can just use a thin engine oil if you don't want to use motorcycle air filter fluid. I use motorcycle air filter fluid because I just have it, and I use either, doesn't matter. Air filter fluid for motorcycles isn't cheap. I use Motor brand. But anyhow, quickly, I always have a new air filter at hand most of the time, but I've just put it on the other day. Well, sorry, no, I didn't put it on the other day. It's done about 26 hours, the air filter. Now, to give you an idea, there is an air filter ring with about a week's mowing on it, and that's grass. It just pulls it up as the engine pulls the air in, pulls it up via these, hang on, just got to make sure I got it in the right spot here, pulls it up via these ports here. That cover goes on there, and that's air goes in through that filter, through that foam. That's the first filtration part of it, and the second filtration part of it's the air filter itself. Now, believe it or not, you might not believe it, but that air filter there, I change them out at 50 hours, but that one was still that clean, I couldn't throw it out because I didn't see that needed thrown out. You look at that, it still pretty well looks like new. That's done 50 hours, and that's not a fat, that's not bullshit. There's grease under there. I put grease around there, and when I put that down on the plate that it sits on, which you will see, and have a look at this. So I'm going to change this out. There's your grease, your blue grease. Now, see all the, oh dear, I don't think I'm getting it. See all the associated dirt and dust and everything. So that sits on that, and that's how it does it. That's what it does. Now, just putting that back on so no more crap falls on it. So there's air filtration on my air filters. These here from Big Coal, I think these rings are about $10 a piece, so they're cheap. Get them new, they come in a plastic packet. I just won at one. Like I said, I think they're about $10, maybe $11. I can't remember what that's worth, maybe 20 or 30, I'm not sure, can't remember. I'd have to have a look. But they're not overly dear, not when you think most people probably wouldn't do 50 hours mowing a year. So it's probably nearly a yearly thing, but these aren't a yearly thing. Now these air filter foam rings do deteriorate. They'll just deteriorate and fall apart. So you've got to keep a good eye on those. That's a fact, because once they fall apart and they're buggered. So then you're down to the primary, you're down to the you're down to this then, down to the paper. Now there's nothing wrong with down to the paper, but on your heavier industrial stuff, like your big commercial ride-on mowers, you have like a Donaldson type setup, air filter, canister. It has an alert if the filter's starting to getting clogged, pulls a suction in and a little telltale which you can see, but anyhow, I haven't got one to show you, so I can't go into that. So what you have there is then you have a small filter on the inside of the filter, which is the last line of defence for dust filtration, and then you have a bigger outer filter. They all just push in, and the end of the Donaldson canister type pushes in and clips shut. It can't fall apart. It's got clips and everything on it, unless you smashed it into something. It's a very good setup. It's the ultimate. My next mower will have one of them, but I'm saying that this here works very good. This here, actually, the inside filter on a Donaldson will be spotless like this. So that's how good, that's how effective these foam filters are. Second to none, in my opinion. And yeah, they're a thing that's easy just to pop that cover off. That's just like that on this Kohler. Kawasaki's are the same. You just pull it up. And what that does is when that goes on, that's why you never, if this gets damaged or those lugs, those locking lugs break, that's why you've got to, this has got to be fixed properly. It's got to fix down properly, because that actually sits in on top of there. You can see where it sits, holds it down, stops it air from going in under the filter. Have a look at that. Look at the dust and everything under there. Dust all around there, that's no problem, because that's the air tract. It effectively forms like an air box. So that fits in there. You can clearly see that clicks. My opinion, that's a great air filter setup. That's very well thought out. And also I've had this cowl off here because I wanted to check these cylinders are enclosed in like a V-dub, like a shell. So obviously the fan that operates in here pulls air down through the duct that's air cooled. So what I wanted to do there was make sure all that was clean. So I pulled this big cover off. That is absolutely spotless. It separates away from here. You just take the fuel pump, those little bolts out, a few bolts out, that just comes apart. And I always blow that out. That's a must. And if you're in dusty conditions or leafy conditions or very grassy conditions, always wipe the leaf or the blades of grass off there. When you're fueling up, you've switched it off, get the blower and blow everything out there, because it blows out and blows down past the fins on the cylinder head and cools the engine. That's how it works. That's your cooling system. That's got to be clear. That's got to be same, no different with the pumps down there. They've got little fans on them for the drive pumps and motors. Same deal. It's got a fan. Keep all crap away from there, which I've got to blow off. See, there's a bit of grass on that pump, top of that pump. That's got to be blown off before I go to work tomorrow. But look, I'm going to leave it at that on this. Air filter maintenance. About 130 hours on those blades. They're still cutting well, believe it or not. Just have a quick look under here, see if you can see them. Oh. That's 130 hour blades. They're an aftermarket blade. I did like the look of the, oh geez, I'm shaky today. Must be because I'm talking about mowers, I'm getting a bit excited. 130 hours. I'll probably run the grinder over that edge, that sharp edge, or just a file even. They're working well. I couldn't whinge about that, but I am, like I say, very careful with how I go about mowing. The spindles, I checked the bearings on them, they're as tight as tight. Mower was under the deck the other day. Deck's immaculate still. So it's done 226 hours or whatever it's done. Deck's still immaculate, no bends, nothing falling off. just starting to get a tiny little bit of wear in those little wheels, which is to be expected. All in all, it's performing unreal. I grease the grease, 8 grease nipples every day, 1 on the casters, on the wheel bearings or wheel bush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grease nipples. It's easy to do that. A couple of pumps, probably 4 or 5 pumps in that one until the grease comes out. I've pulled the covers off. Had a plastic cover on there, but I like seeing what's going on, making sure everything's clear. I blow all this out. At the end of every job, when I leave, I blow the grass out of the mower to leave the grass from that mowing area on that property. Give it a good blow off every time I fuel up. I'm going on long with this video because I just want people to know how I do it. Blow the whole mower off, so that's blow in here. There's in under here there's a open channel. Blow that out, that always gets grass out. Blow all the dust and grass off around here, off the deck, off the pumps, out through here. Just blow the whole mower off, spend a bit of time. But it's really smart to blow this here off when you fuel it up. Just blow it at hand with your fuel containers and blow off that ventilation area in the tops of your pumps where they got a plastic fan that works in there. I probably think I'm pretty spot on with it all, for the simple reason I can get a lot of hours out of things without having failures. And I've had people tell me this mower here will not handle what I do with it, and I said I'm going to prove you wrong. And I had a mower salesman tell me that. He said, you need a commercial mower for what you're doing. And I said, well, this is what I've got. And I said, I think that I will easily get 600, 700, 800 hours out of this mower. He said, oh, you won't get that. And I said, oh, well, we'll wait and see. So I've made it my whatever you want to call it, that I'm going to get as many hours out of this mower as I can. And I'm sort of hoping to get 1,000 hours, to be honest with you. But we will see. I'm documenting it. We will see. The Kohler engine, the 7000 series, is performing well. I put about 50 to 100 mil oil in it the other day, and that's with about 30 hours on this oil on it. Now, air-cooled engines run a little bit looser tolerances, I understand, to a water-cooled engine, and they naturally do use a bit more engine oil than a water-cooled engine. But you're talking minute, very minute amounts, very minute. Alright, look, I'm going to leave it at that. There's my mower maintenance schedule for the day. I'm getting it ready for tomorrow, Sunday. Today, I've got a lawn and some hedging and some weeding and some spraying to do this afternoon when it cools down. It's only about an hour and a quarter. It's worth of work. So I'll get that done out the road. And then my fellow workmate her and I are working together, Jade, we've got a big week planned. So tomorrow's a big one, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to leave it at that. Sveno Mick from Swenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance on his Sunday maintenance day to the noise of Harley Davidson's uptown in Maloney. Obviously making a bit of noise, and my little dog Frankie also making a bit of noise. So look, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that's helped. That's the way I do things. I'm not saying it's the right way to do things. That's the way I do it. I'm not a trained mechanic, but I spend a lot of time around machinery. Spend a lot of time around air filtration, air filters. A lot of time greasing things, and I don't seem to have too many failures. So whatever I'm doing, I'd say is probably pretty right. Well, it's not probably pretty right. I know it's right. That's my opinion. That's my humble opinion. Just like to put a bit of a shout out to Big Cole, Mountain Mowers. He's always there, him and his team. Shane and Cole, always, whenever I need any info, or I shuffle a fair few people off onto them, and they're very good to deal with. And also Graham, he rang me up and was wanting to know about my anti-scalp wheels on the Greenfield. He's from New South Wales. So hopefully the story I'm going to do on the anti-scalp wheels helps you. Rightio, this is Sveno Mick from Swenson's Mowing and Grounds Maintenance. Sveno Mick out.